Alrighty, so for our next steps, what we need to do is we're just going to drop in a background in here for right now. So we'll come down here and select new layer, and we can grab the paint bucket tool, which might be hidden underneath your gradient tool, but we're going to grab the paint bucket, and we're just going to fill this in. All right, now you'll see that my person suddenly disappeared, so we can just grab this, drag it down, boom, there we go. So now what we're going to do is we are going to duplicate this layer a couple of times. So you can right click and go up to duplicate layer, hit OK. We'll right click, duplicate layer, hit OK. Now from here, what we're going to do is this top layer, we're going to turn it off for right now. So we're going to come back to it. We're going to edit it later, but we'll get there when the time comes. We're going to select this additional copy that we have. And what we are going to do is apply a filter. All right, now to do that, we just need to simply go up here to the filter window and select filter gallery. All right, once this opens up, you can scroll out a little bit so that way you can see your person. And what we need to do is select the cutout filter. All right, so if we just simply come up here, we can select cutout, and you'll see that it gives us a little setup of different colors. All right, now you can play around with these settings. You can set them to being, well, honestly, whatever you would like them to be. I think I'm going to stick with this. My number of levels being 8. My edge simplicity, we'll go with 6. And then the fidelity, let's leave it at 2. Oh, it kind of lost his eyes. What happened? Yeah, we'll go right there. And then just simply hit OK. So now our image has that filter applied. Now what we can do is we need to add a poster edges filter. But we're going to select this top layer again, all right, the one that we hid before, and we're going to turn it back on. So that way we just see our original image. We're going to go back up to filter. We're going to turn on those filter galleries again. And then we are going to select the poster edges. All right, I got to zoom out here so I can see my person. There he is. So now we've got kind of that little splotchy black line outline look of a comic book or anything like that. You can play around with your settings again. You can crank them up if you want. You can bring them down a little bit if you want. See, this gives you that real posterized kind of look. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that all the way up because why not? Then we can hit OK. For our next step, we need to go through and we're just going to adjust the threshold a little bit. So what we are going to do is simply go up here to image. We're going to go to adjustments, and then we need to find our threshold. All right. Once we find the threshold, we can dial this down, and you can see, what it's doing here is it's going to play around with how much black is in this image. So we can dial this back some until we get something kind of like that. Next up, we're going to apply another filter. This one is kind of optional. I personally like this look, but we can throw this on here. We're going to go up to here, and we're going to go down to stylize, and then we're going to go to oil paint. All right, and you can see what happened here. If we turn on and off our preview, it's smoothing out those lines. And again, we can play around with this. You can set your settings to really whatever you would like. But you can play around with these until you get kind of the vibe that you would like or you would enjoy. I think I'm going to bring these up some. Yeah, I'll go with that. Hit OK. And from here, you guys will have to jump into my next video to see what happens next.